we say, well, I don't know if I can buy that, I don't know if I can do that, and that's okay. But we do this in other areas of our life, and we don't seem to have a problem with it. Why would we have a problem with it when it comes to our faith? I'm going to give you two examples. I'm going to give you examples. First, I'm going to talk to the guys. You know, of situations that we're in, that we are willing to minimize our doubts and proceed anyway. Okay, when you ask a guy, you know, why don't you want to get married? You ask a single guy, hey, you want to get married? You think, no, I don't want to get married. And then I made a list of reasons why guys and girls, you know, don't get mad at us. That's the way God made us, right? We're different and we're weird. I know to you we look weird and all that. But see, reasons why guys would not want to get married. Okay, first of all, guys don't want to lose their freedom. Getting married means I'm no longer free. You know, it's like I'm attached. Freedom. You know. Then there's the big one. You know, making a commitment. Like, wow, us guys, we don't like commitments a lot. Commitments, you mean like forever? Like for the rest of my life? Like, wow, no, that's a problem, you know? And then there's a problem with money, you know? Oh, come on, getting married, that costs a lot of money. I mean, I don't even have enough money to buy everything I want, you know? And then how am I going to have money to buy what she wants too, you know? It's like money is a problem. Or you might be, you know, another reason why people might not get married is because they look around at other couples and they seem so unhappy. It's like, wow, why would I want to do that? You know? It's like, no, that's all right. I'm cool the way I am. Then guys are notorious for this. Okay, guys wonder, well, what if I meet someone else later? What if you know, this is a legitimate reason why some guys don't want to get married. You know, what if I'm young, you know, and what if I pick this person, but later on in life I meet the person I really want to be with, and now, but I'm already committed, and you know, what do I do? And you know, and let me tell you something. These are reasons that are good reasons. They're good obstacles. They're good reasons that keep guys from getting married, right? But you know what? Every married man that I know, including myself. Now, you know, there may be someone out there that's different. But every married man that I know, including myself, you know, we didn't work this out before we got married. We didn't sit there with a list and say, okay, losing my freedom. Well, let me read a book on freedom, and then, okay, you know what? We're not really that free anyway, so I can still have, okay, check. I got that one taken care of. Okay, how about the thing about commitment? Well, you know, let me review this commitment thing, and, you know, well, it's not commitment because I'm committed to other things. So maybe it's commitment to the unknown, but you know what? There's an unknown factor in everything in life. So check, I can handle that one. Okay, I can deal with that. The money, okay, you know, I saved, and 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 now I'm 40 and I'm finally have enough money to get married. You know, as long as I marry somebody that doesn't have high expectations, you know. So I gotta go to like this, you know, very poor little town somewhere and pick somebody whose expectations are really low, and I think I have enough money now to be able to get married. And then, you know, I'm going to surround myself with people that are happily married. Only happily married people can be around me because I need that motivation and stuff. And then about other people, look, you know, okay, I think I got the solution for that. As soon as I get married, I'll pluck my eyes out and I can't find and look at anybody else. And that's it. You know, that the last image in my mind will be of my bride, and forget it. That's it. I'm not, you know, we don't do that. We don't. Work his way through that, through these issues, you know. What happens? Why did we get married in spite of all those obstacles? Well, you know, we met somebody, and then it wasn't about the concept of marriage. It wasn't anymore about the idea or the category of marriage. Now it's about Elizabeth. Now it's about Mary. Now it's about her. You know, now it becomes personal. So, you know what? You know, our objections, they shrink. They're still there. You know, I still don't have money. I'm still going to lose my freedom. I still, you know, when I have to make a commitment, the obstacles are still there. But all of a sudden, they're not important anymore. All of a sudden, they're not really that important because we fall in love. And when you love somebody, there's no obstacle that that you can't overcome, that you can't work your way through. And you know what happens? Sometimes you get married, and then a lot of these obstacles are resolved. Because you realize once you're married and once you're in that personal relationship with that person, that it doesn't matter who else shows up in life. You would only be able to love this person. Then you realize that, you know, making a commitment was the best thing you've ever done in your life. Or you can be in that relationship and realize, you know what? Yeah, it's not, I really haven't lost any freedom. I'm really free. I'm free in a different way. I'm free to be myself. I don't have to be, you know, always pretending. I can be myself. There's safety. There's, I mean, in marriage, and you know, it won't take away all the doubts. It won't take away all the obstacles. Maybe we still don't have the money, you know. But the obstacles may shrink. You know, that's an example. Most people who embrace Christianity do it just like that. Most people who embrace Christianity, they may have theoretical objections, intellectual objections, emotional objections, philosophical objections, but then they meet Christ. And it becomes personal. Then they have a personal experience with Christ. And it becomes so real in their life that all of these objections may still be there, but all of a sudden they don't seem that important anymore. They minimize, they become less. You know, and guys, we're not the only ones. Ladies, you know, you do it too. You know, we all do it. Okay? I mean, think about this, okay? Why? Let me ask you a question and don't answer, because I'm going to answer it, okay? But here's the rhetorical question. Why would any woman want to have a baby? Make a list of reasons why it's not a good idea to have a baby. Do you have any idea what's going to happen to your body after you have a baby? Cover your ears, cover your ears. Do you have any idea? Do you realize how expensive it is to have babies? You know how many thousands upon thousands of dollars it's going to cost you to raise that child? Have you read anything about the risks of pregnancy? Man, there's a lot of risks when you get pregnant. Then there's the risks, you know, of raising a child and all the problems, all the things that can go wrong. You can have a sick child. You can have a child that goes astray and becomes this monster. You can have a child that dies young. I mean, you can have, oh my goodness, you can have a child that will never love you. You know, what if you have your child and then you pass away and you can't raise him and he's going to go into an orphanage? I mean, the list is endless of why would anybody have a child? You know? But you know what? Go ask that lady who can't have babies and really wants one. Give her the opportunity of having a child. And I'll tell you what, all those objections which are real, they become minimized. All of a sudden they're not important. Because you're not talking about a baby. Now you're talking about my baby. You can take anybody that's gone through this, any woman that's really, you know, thought about all these things, and then she gets pregnant. And all of a sudden the mindset changes. Because bringing a life into this world is such an incredible thing. And having a life in your womb, and knowing that you are bringing that life forth, the obstacles become tiny. And you go ahead and you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Wow. What happened? What happened? Okay, it became personal.